Sup everybody, it's your boy Lance Williams at We Will Studios, and welcome back to another episode of Creating Death in the BnB. I know that it's been a minute since we created one of these episodes for you guys, so I'm just glad to be sharing some new content with you, and I hope that you are ready because we have a lot to cover today. Also, it's a new year. I hope that you guys are doing great. I hope that your year's going good. I hope that you guys are achieving all the goals you've set out for yourself. In this episode, we're going to be going over the filming process we went through in order to create the first 3 episodes of Death in the BnB, which are currently out on our YouTube channel right now, so be sure to go check them out if you haven't already. Before I start, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe so you guys will know when our next videos come out. And with that being said, so after getting the planning, writing, organizing, team, and pre-production phase of this whole thing finished, the next phase to move on to was the production phase. And not gonna lie to you guys, this was the phase I was most nervous about and excited about at the same time, just because it's like, oh my gosh, now I get to finally see what I wrote come to life, like what was in my head come to life. And just seeing everybody interact with each other and work together, and we just I just couldn't wait. It's just, oh, that feeling is amazing. But the thing was, I'm just gonna let y'all know now, before I get into talking about anything about what filming was like for each episode, I just want you guys to know there was a lot of ups and downs, like a lot. And not gonna lie to you, there was more downs than there were ups in this, whole process. So, and one thing I learned was that you have to be prepared for when things go wrong on your production, because more than likely things are gonna go wrong. So before we even started filming, we all had came together like I want to say around late July, mid-July, to kind of like figure out what filming days would be best for everyone. I was thinking the weekends would be the best, like just because of the fact that usually people are free on the weekends and have nothing to really worry about unless they have a busy thing going on. But I was thinking the weekends would be best. It would be smooth and nobody has to think about work, nobody has to think about meetings and stuff like that. I mean, if they did, we would plan accordingly, but still, it's like they're less likely to have that type of stuff on the weekends. The main thing was I just wanted filming to go as smooth as possible. So I was thinking, hey, since each episode is only like 11, 12 pages at most, hey, we can just dedicate Saturday to getting one part of the script done and then Sunday to getting another part of the script done. Since they're not that long, it would be easier for us to, get episodes finished, and it would only take like 2 days. So I was like, okay, that could work. And everybody agreed. So at the end of the meeting, we all decided to start filming in August of 2021. So as the shooting day came closer and closer, I just started getting really nervous and excited at the same time, but mainly just nervous because of the fact that I was just thinking, oh, what if this happened? Oh, what if that happened? But the thing is like, you can, no matter how prepared you are, you can never really tell how smooth things are gonna go. Like, the most you can do is just get a lot of things prepared in order, just so you can at least try your best to be sure if something does happen, you at least have a backup thing of handling it. So as the day was getting closer and closer to start filming, I had a bunch of stuff that I had to do in order to, one, guarantee that I'm on top of everything and I just, plan everything out. And 2, to be sure that I make this the smoothest filming possible, just to be sure that I'm doing everything in my power to make this go as smoothly as possible. So the first thing I made sure of was that my equipment was good. I'm gonna tell y'all now, everything I have is what I use to make this web series. I already had the camera, I already had the audio equipment, I already had the lights, I already had the tripod, the gimbal, the clapper board, and a computer to edit off of. Like, making this, I just used what I had. I wasn't trying to go out my way and buy or rent any big cameras or rent any big things. I literally just used what I had, because literally I have all the money in the world to be, buying all types of equipment just so I can make this look like the best professional thing ever. I could make this look professional with what I had, and so that's what I did. The only thing I will say that I did buy for this project was storage. So I bought what was it, a G drive with about 4 terabytes and a Lacy drive with about 5 terabytes. And the reason why I bought so much storage was because of the fact that I was going to be shooting this on Blackmagic Raw UHD. So I needed something I was going to be able to hold those super big files, you know. So I just bought those, and that's what I went with. And not gonna lie, like those first 3 episodes, they literally filled up the G drive quick. I'm over here like, bro, like the first 3 episodes already filled y'all up? Man, that's crazy. So now I need to figure out a new storage system for future purposes. But yeah, that's the only thing I did. Literally, I just looked at what I had, saw that I could make something out of it, and just use that. That's it. That's all I needed. And so boom, once I realized that, I just went on from there. But before every shoot, be sure to check your equipment and be sure that it's good, it works, because the last thing you want is to be shooting on filming day and your equipment don't work. So keep that in mind. So the second thing that I do is break down the script, and it's super important to break down the script just because it helps me figure out, 1, how many scenes are in the episode, 2, what characters are in what scenes, of course, and what props are in that scene as well. And it's just really important to break down the script before you really get into anything, just because of the fact that it lets you know ahead of time that what you'll be getting into when filming starts, you know, and what you will need in order to make that happen. I break down my scripts by first sectioning off each scene. So I'll just get like a ruler, get a pencil, and literally just section off where a scene begins and ends. Like right before the next scene heading, I'll end it, and then I'll just continue with that process throughout the whole thing. And doing this just helps me take note that, okay, this is how many scenes are in there. So from there, I just get into taking notes of everything that I notice in each of those scenes that I've sectioned off. I'll underline character names to see what characters I need for this scene. I also underline props to be sure what props I need for this scene. And even just taking note of the location to be sure that I am using that location, I'm able to use that location. Now, whenever I do this, I use like different colored pencils and pens and stuff like that. Whatever works for you. I'm a pen guy. But yeah, I just use different colored pens and underline character names, props, and also just taking note of the location and being sure like I have all of these in order for us to be able to shoot this scene successfully. Now, mind you, I'm not going to get into too much detail as far as like with breaking down the script, because I'd be talking for a minute. But if you guys want a future video on that, definitely let me know in the comments. So the third thing I did was make a shot list. And you know, you don't have to make a shot list for your projects. I would highly recommend it, but you don't have to, because there's a lot of professional filmmakers out there that don't use a shot list to make their feature films. Hey, it works for them, so hey, that's how they do it. So I mean, everybody has their own process with making that stuff. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, like whenever I first started shooting and making my own stuff, I ain't even know what a shot list was. I ain't know anything about making a shot list. All I knew was I had images in my head and I was just gonna go off of that whenever I was making my stuff. Like, I didn't need a shot list for it. But then eventually later down the line, I kind of realized like, nah, like shot lists are pretty important. Matter of fact, they hella important. So for those who don't know, a shot list is a document that you make that has every single shot that you want in order to make your project. And the thing about the shot list is that they help you keep track of all the things that all the shots you need to get, helps you keep track of what shots you've already gotten, what shots you still need to shoot, how many shots are in a certain scene, and a lot of other stuff. All I gotta say is that if you want to be organized on your shoots, then this is a necessity. Cause I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the main reason why I use it is because I be forgetting stuff. Like I be having shots in my head and sometimes they go away. So the thing about the shot list is if I put them on the shot list, I ain't never gonna forget them, because all I gotta do is look at what it is, read the description for it, and I'll be like, oh yeah, now I need to know, now I need to get the shot. I almost forgot about that shot, you know? Now for me, making a shot list takes some time, mainly just because of the fact that there's so many ways you can film one scene, and there's so many ways you can even just film one shot. But the thing is, your job is to be able to, you know, figure out what's the best one for you, as well as figuring out what's the best one for the audience, so that they can be connected to your film, things come across the right way, and they understand what's going on. Like, I'll be sitting in front of the computer for a minute, like for a good couple of days, just trying to figure that stuff out. But like I've started to learn that it's all part of the process, and slowly but surely I'm starting to appreciate it more. Just so y'all know, I make all of my shot lists on Notion, and I have like a whole process I go through in order to, you know, make my shot list. So in a future video, if you guys want a video like that, definitely let me know, and I'll be sure to share the template and how I use it and everything like that. The fourth thing that I did was make a call sheet. And a call sheet is a film schedule that you send to your cast and crew, which tells them what scenes you're going to be shooting that day, what time you're going to be shooting those scenes, what characters are in those scenes, and what time they should be on set, as well as just having like a call time, where the location is, how long we plan on being there, etc. It's a lot of information, basically just keeping everybody updated on where things are, what's going on, etc. So whenever I was making these, I was making sure I got them out to the cast days in advance, just to be sure that they know when we're filming, what time, and everything like that, and so they don't make any plans that'll interfere with our filming time. And then plus, it's always good to just be an organized director, producer that keeps everybody informed and updated, you know? Yeah. Now, mind you, I did this a majority of the time we were filming, but the thing was, I did have some days where I was sending in the call sheet like the day before, like mainly because throughout the week I was so busy working on the shot list and organizing hard drives and making sure equipment was ready, all types of other stuff. And juggling all of that was a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a lot of work, just doing all of that by myself. So that's something I definitely want to work on in the future. Like, the next time I have a project, I'm gonna make sure I have a bigger team so that I can just focus on making the shot list and stuff like that, while somebody else could be making the call sheets and making sure that gets out to people. Because I'm not, all that juggling is a lot. So that is definitely what I'm gonna be working on for sure the next time, just being sure I have a bigger team. Plus, if you ever need a call sheet for your project, you can just go on Google and just look up templates, because they have a bunch of templates online that you can download for free. So the fifth and final thing I did was double check. And I cannot stress this enough, y'all. Double check everything again. And the reason why I say that is because one time ain't enough. It's not enough. And it don't hurt to double check again. Literally, I cannot tell you how many times I've worked on something and I thought my battery was good. I thought the camera battery was good. I thought the audio recorder battery was good. And something died or something didn't work how it should have. You know, it's just always good to double check. So do a favor for your future self and just double check all your stuff one more time. Double check your equipment. Double check the call sheet. Double check the shot list. Double check the breakdown. Just double check everything. Do your future self a favor. After all of that was set and ready, the first day of filming came and we were ready for it. So whenever the first day of shooting started, this was probably like one of the most smoothest days we ever had. Like, literally the day went perfectly planned. We were only shooting like 2 scenes because the rest of the group couldn't like come there on the first day, so we just shot scenes with just me and Jake that day. That was it. The other people who were there to help were Daryl, the DP, my sister Alexis, Champion, Cameron, and Mariah. And yeah, like literally it was the smoothest day. Like that day me and Daryl got to work for the first time, because like I told y'all before, me and him were in band together, but we never like worked on something like this before. So being able to collaborate with him on this project was great. Like, literally the chemistry was there easily. Same thing with Jake. You know, I mean, me and Jake, I mean, we've been doing stuff like this, but it's like, compared to like the skits we used to make, this was completely different. So the fact that even in this setting we were able to work with each other perfectly was just amazing. The scenes that we shot that day were the one where I was outside walking, where Law was outside walking. We shot that, and Daryl was using the my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K with a Zion Crane 2S. So yeah, that's what we were using in order to shoot that. We just shot it all in 60 frames. And then we also shot the inside scenes with just me and Jake, where basically all I did was we just were at the front door, and we were just talking about, you know, like, what kind of stuff you want me to help with? Some murder? The hell you call me for then? All that stuff. And also with Jake being all like, help us, help me. Help us. Help me. You know, that scene. So, bro, I'm telling you, that day went perfect. Oh my gosh, we ended on time. Everything was great. And the next day was going to be dedicated to shooting all the scenes with the rest of the group. So the next day was going to be the day where everybody came, and like, honestly, after that, I was like, man, hey, everything gonna go great until, you know, stuff. Let me, yeah. So on day 2, this was the day when really I noticed like how bad things can go on set sometimes. Like, it was great having everyone there, and we made a lot of progress, don't get me wrong, but at the same time it didn't go as planned. So first and foremost, the whole group was there, and it was so good to have everybody there. Like, we were all interacting and everything. I bought food for everybody to eat and everything, so we were just all hanging out, chilling, laughing and everything. And then whenever it came to shooting, like, it was going good, and then it just got super stressful. So first off, Daryl couldn't make it because, like, he was going to make it, but the thing was his car battery died, right? And he was trying to like get it fixed and everything, but it was not happening. So I ended up having to be the cameraman for like that part of whenever we were doing scenes and stuff like that. So I had to act and be the cameraman. But the thing was, we didn't really have to like shoot my scenes. Like, I was hoping we would, but we didn't really have to shoot my scenes to get things finished. So I just dedicated that day to just getting everybody else's coverage and stuff like that finished. Like, just getting scenes of Jazz's character, Whitney, Jake's character, Brian, Elroy's character, Mikey's character Elroy, and of course Chris's character Nikki. And literally that's what I did. I had to get behind the camera, and then I had to direct at the same time, and then I also had to, you know, feed lines to them so I could, you know, be interacting with them, because my character was supposed to be interacting with them at certain times, but it was just like still, you know. And Camille even came that day as well. But the thing was, since we were doing so much work on those scenes with just them, we weren't able to get to her scenes. And like, literally, like, she was just there, and then she was like, oh, I gotta go. And then I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I felt so bad, bro. Like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm just letting these people, like, I felt so bad, because I was like, they're gonna be like, he unprofessional, this is that. I mean, like, stuff like this happens, but it's just like, still, with somebody at my level doing something like this, like, I felt as though things had to go smooth in order for people to kind of like take what you're doing seriously. And the fact that things weren't going smooth, I was just thinking like, dang, they ain't gonna want to work with me no more. Like, this is that and the third. But you know, she understood. Like, the thing about, Camille definitely understood, and she was all cool about it. So shout out to her for being cool. But so we have to move her scenes to another day. But the thing was, like, either way, we were able to get all of the other group's stuff done. So that was good, at least. Like, I'm happy about that for sure. But yeah, that was really my first real taste of like how bad things can go on set. Like, hey, sometimes some people ain't gonna show up. Sometimes something's gonna happen to people on your crew or your cast and won't allow them to show up. So it was just like, hey, are you gonna cancel everything, or are you gonna take things in your hands? And one thing about me, I don't care. I would, if somebody said, yo, I ain't gonna be able to do it, unless you acting in the thing, like, I'll hop behind the camera. I'll hop on the sound. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll find a way to make it work. So yeah, we ended up having to make a third and fourth day of shooting. Like, and the third day of shooting was kind of like the last shoot we had with like the whole group. Like, that was like the final scene we had to shoot with the group, and that was basically the scenes with the murder happening, like the scenes where Brian and Sydney are in bed, and then next thing you know, the lightning and stuff like that's going on, and yeah, he ends up finding out she's dead. So that's what all that scene was dedicated to, but also to the point to where all the other characters have to run into the room after they heard Brian shouting. So yeah, that literally dedicated that whole day to that. I was trying to shoot for, hey, let's just shoot it at night, you know, kind of like that. But the thing was, we couldn't do it because people weren't available at that time. So we were like, okay, how about we just shoot for an earlier time? And I just figured out a way to kind of make it look like nighttime, because that's when I wanted it to happen at nighttime. But the only thing was, it would still be daylight outside. So what I ended up doing was getting like black trash bags and taping them to my window, like just so it would black out the light that could come in, and it would look like nighttime in my room. I remember doing this because whenever I was in Atlanta and whenever I was at Morehouse, I was working with a friend of mine who was shooting his his senior capstone film, I think. And no, wait, was he shooting a senior capstone film? Yes, he was shooting a senior capstone film. And literally, that's what they did. They blacked out the windows with trash bags, and I was just like, wow. They really, like, at that time, I was just like, wow, they really doing their thing. They're really making it look like nighttime in here and stuff. So I just remembered that, and I was like, okay, yeah, hey, if I want to make it nighttime, I can make it nighttime. So literally, I got a bunch of trash bags, and I just taped them all over my window, and it worked. Like, not a single bit of light came into the room. So hey, the job went accomplished. That's all I gotta say. But after that, then we have to set up lights, because I needed it to look like as if the moonlight was coming into the room. And whenever we did to do that, I just used my light right here, my Godox light with its big light dome, and literally I grabbed like a Tupperware top type of thing, and it was like a highlighted blue. So I just put it over the light, and then it ended up giving like that moonlight blue glow that I was looking for. I was like, okay, perfect. Hey, we in session. Like, hey, because it ended up working. It literally kind of felt like the moon was kind of like shining in here a little bit. All I did was just shoot it up at the ceiling, and it did what it had to do. And then just to get to the lightning. Now the lightning, that was the part that I literally really liked the most, because I got these Aperture Lights. Where they at? Boom, right here. So I got this Aperture light right here, the Aperture MC. These things are like $90, and bro, these lights are amazing. Like, when I tell you these lights right here are amazing, I mean that. Because literally, they have effects on here. They have like all types of colors you can put, and they're magnetic. So, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all can't see that, but I know you heard that. That's all that matters. So, it's like all this for $90, good lighting. I can make effects. Like, the effects they have on here were so good, and I always wanted to like make something where I had to use them. And in this case, it was more so like I needed the lightning effect, and because it has like stuff like fire, police cars, fireworks, was it paparazzi? Like, it has even TV. Like, it's really cool. You can use it for a lot of things, and they had a lightning feature on here. So literally, what I did was hook this up to my window. Like, I just magnetically, like, it just hooked up there like I'm on them, like, with, because it's magnetic. And I connected it to my phone because this is also Bluetooth. So I just was pitching the lightning effect over and over and over whenever we were filming it. Because Daryl was using the Blackmagic on the gimbal. And I was just behind him, just being like, hey, like, you know, just directing him. But at the same time, I was just pressing the button on my phone, because the fact that it can just connect to your phone like that is just like amazing. So I was just literally just pressing the lightning thing on my phone to make the lightning look like, oh dang, it's lightning outside, and it worked. It looks great. So yeah, and on top of that, hey, when you add in them sound effects, it made it even better. So yeah. The funny thing about that day was like there was a lot of mess ups. Like everything, the setup was good. Everything was there, but the thing was like there was a lot of mess ups that happened. Some of the main mess ups was because we had to use my bed, right? And my bed is like old, and it's on like this old bed frame thing, and literally like if you nudge it the wrong way, the whole thing will fall down, right? So there was so many times whenever the other characters ran in, like when Elroy and everybody came into the room like saying like, oh my god, what's going on, they would accidentally like touch the bed, and then the thing would boom like fall, right? Action.
What's up? What?
Help me, please, help me.
Whoa.
Help me, my bed is... I don't know what happened.
What is that, Lance?
That ain't got a body under his bed.
And oh my gosh, everybody was like laughing, and everybody, oh my gosh, it was so funny, bro. That happened like 2 times. All right, 3, 2, 1, action.
What happened?
Help me, please, I don't know what happened.
Oh, fuck. Again?
And literally, I was like, y'all, just try your best to be gentle with the bed. Like, come on, like, just be chill about it, right? So we just worked with what we had or whatever like that. Like, it was so funny. Oh my gosh. But nah, literally everything went good. Like, we got all the scenes shot. Everybody was having fun. We were turning up, having a good time and everything. Eventually, what was it? Camille. Oh my gosh, Camille was a real trooper that day. Literally because her character died from poison, right? So the thing was, I wanted her to have like foam coming out from her mouth. They were saying like, oh, let's use toothpaste. I know I had something in my mind that because I didn't want to use toothpaste. I didn't want her to like be swallowing it, but like I forgot what made me be like, yeah, let's just go use toothpaste. Like I know she suggested it, but yeah. The whole time she was just sitting there with like the toothpaste like sitting out of her mouth or something like that, and bro, she was swallowing so much toothpaste. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's okay. Hey, she like I said, she a trooper. She did everything, and she handled it gracefully. She played her part. She looked dead. She played her part. So yeah, everything went good on that, and eventually she had to leave. So we have to shoot like the rest of the scenes without her like really in it. And we also just used whatever other coverage we already had of her to kind of like, you know, help with the scene. We had enough. So, but yeah, she ended up leaving, and then we ended up just finishing out the scene without her. We just ended up just framing like the bed out of there so you wouldn't like see that she wasn't there. But nah, that night was great. And literally that was like the first time we like really wrapped like everything as a group. So it was all good. Oh my gosh, it felt so good, man. That night was amazing, like for real.
Hello everybody, we have officially shot every single scene in the first episode of Death in the BnB. So that means that this is a wrap.
Yeah.
And then the last and final day of shooting for episode 1 was just dedicated to getting my scenes done. We, like I said, we shot everybody else's scene, but we just didn't get any of mine. And literally the only help we had that day was it was just me, Daryl, Jordan, and Jake. Literally that was it. So Jake was helping behind the scenes with like feeding lines and stuff like that. There was even times where he was helping with recording. Daryl was helping with recording and audio and everything, and even Jordan was even helping with audio and everything too. So it was just perfect. Like literally we all just did what we could and I just got all of my stuff shot, and yeah, like that was literally just a day dedicated to just getting lost scenes shot. So it was really cool. And then there was also like this one shot that we did where I'm talking to like the group and everything, and it looks like I'm really talking to them, but the thing is they're not really there. Like I had Jordan and Daryl was it Jordan? No, Jordan and Jake kind of like frame themselves, like position themselves a certain way in the camera, so it looked like I was talking to like Elroy and Nikki, and they were standing there. But nah, that was actually just Jordan and Jake, bro.
Actually, I do serious stuff all the time, so
they were wearing the same colors as them, so I was like, hey, y'all could like, you know, there you go, perfect. And it really looked, and it worked out. So hey, the power of film, man, that's all I gotta say. But other than that, it was great. Like literally, that was shooting the first episode was great. Yes, it had its ups and downs, but overall we got it finished, and that's what I cared about the most. And I was just so happy to have that thing done, put that thing on my disk drive. So then all I had to worry about was starting episode 2. But whenever it did come to episode 2, that's when I had to, like, you know, start doing the whole routine again, you know, doing the scene breakdown, the script breakdown, shot listing, all that other stuff, because we were planning to do that like the next week. So for when it came to filming episode 2, things were actually a bit smoother, but the thing was that people weren't as available as they were the first day, like for the first episode. Sometimes I learned, like, you learn that sometimes you're gonna have times where you really need to film, but like people won't be as available as you hope they could be. So you just have to be able to plan around that and make things work. So in this case, we had shot a lot of scenes on different days. Like, even though they looked like the same day, we actually filmed like multiple things on different days for this episode. On the first day of filming episode 2, Jake wasn't gonna be able to make it because he was out of town. So we had to kind of like schedule his shoots for another day. So for the first day of shooting, I only focused on scenes that involved Whitney, Nikki, and Elroy. Literally on episode 2, there were some scenes that only involved strictly just Jazz, Mikey, and Chris. So that's what we did. We kind of just focused on that the whole day. We only shot the scenes that involved them, and it didn't take any more than like 3 takes, and literally it just went smooth. So that day I was like the cameraman and the audio person, because Daryl was busy and Champion was busy, so I couldn't get them to work. Oh, even Jordan was busy too, so I couldn't get them to help those days. But yeah, I literally just sat behind the camera, and I also held up the mic. Like, honestly, I didn't even need to hold up the mic. I just set it somewhere in a right angle to where the mic was like facing them, because I framed it in a way to where you could only see certain things. So I just literally placed the mic right outside of the frame, but it was also in a range to where it would pick everybody up. So hey, it all worked out. So I was able to direct, use the camera, and get audio, and everything went smooth. Chris's friend actually came by that day. Shout out to her. And literally we were able to, you know, use her help as well. She was able to help behind with the clapper board, because I was not trying to be able to do all of that. Literally, like, get clapper board, all right guys, let me run behind the camera, let me set up the mic. Like, nah. I was so glad that she pulled up, because literally I was just like, yo, you trying to help, you know? And then boom, because I'll get anybody involved. I don't care. Like, hey, if you gonna pull up on set, hey, be prepared to, you know, help out a little bit. And then plus, I was able to even throw her name in the credits. Like, anybody who helps, I will throw your name in the credits, literally. Just because it's like, hey, I appreciate you for wanting to. Well, I'm not gonna say wanting to, because you didn't really know you was gonna get into doing it. But it's just like, hey, this is my appreciation for you helping me out with the project. So yeah, it was pretty great. So the second day of shooting was dedicated to just scenes that involved me and Jake inside, like my character and Jake's character inside. So literally that day was just me and Jake brought his friend Quest. Shout out to Quest. And he came in and actually, you know, helped with filming and stuff like that. So literally it was just another opportunity where you know, we were able to use another helping hand, and it ended up working out. literally he just used clapperboard, and me and Jake were going back and forth on using the camera and using the mic, because Jake is super helpful when it came to like filming my scenes, just my scenes, or you know, just helping out with other things, even if his character wasn't even involved. Like me and Jake are that cool to where like, hey, if he's like, yo, you need any help with like shooting anything, just let me know. So literally it was just good to have like a helping hand with shooting all of that. So literally it was just me, Jake, and Quest, and that's all we were doing, just shooting his coverage and then shooting my coverage inside. And then after that, boom, that was it for that day. But the third day, now that day was like the most, let me just explain. So the third day of shooting episode 2 was dedicated to all the outside scenes, because I had wrote some scenes for outside, and man, we in Texas, so, and it was in the summer, like August, so you already know what the temperature was like. Oh my gosh, it was so hot, bro. And I had to wear that trench coat. Yeah. It was just me, Jordan, Daryl, and Jake, and we were just shooting all of our scenes, all of me and Jake's scenes outside. And bro, it was so hot, bro. Like there were times where we had to go inside just to cool off, or there was times we had to take a break, drink water. Bro, like I remember in one of the shots from outside, you could actually like see me sweating, like, cause literally that's how bad it was. It helped me out a lot. Like, bro, that trench coat, bro, do not wear no trench coats in the summertime. Literally, I don't even know why I even decided to do that. I just decided to like keep my coat on just because I was just thinking like, hey, if this is all happening in the same day, I wouldn't see Law getting so comfortable with the group, especially after just finding out that he was on a murder case, to kind of just like, all right, well, let me get settled in. Like, no, I just didn't picture him doing that. Like, I just pictured him like just wearing his coat the whole time, despite, you know, everything. So yeah, I don't know. But I was out there thugging it out in that coat though. I'm letting y'all know that now. Everybody was thugging it out.
Hey, don't tell them about the pop chart.
Hey, I'm about to say iPhone, mic 2, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Y'all good? They good?
This how they feel in public interviews. Hey, what is better? Multiple bodies or one body? Go on McAllister's. Go to McAllister's. Yeah, just go sit in there. Get you like some fruit punch or something. Just sit down.
He said so fruit punch.
He said something.
Like, we were all sweating like crazy. But the thing was, we got it all done though. So Jordan came in and helped for a couple hours. Daryl helped with camera and audio, and even Jake had to help with audio sometimes just to get like certain scenes. But literally we made it all work. And it came out beautifully. I just know that, hey, we was going, oh my gosh. Shout out to them for actually like sticking it out with me outside, because oh my gosh, I know a lot of people, they would have been like, no, this too much. Oh, I can't do this. But like this is why I'm saying it's important to work with people that's just as passionate as you, because if they believe in what you're going after, they will literally stick through heat, cold, whatever with you just to get a project done, you know. And that's what you want. You want dedicated people. So shout out to Jake, Jordan, and Daryl for helping me out in that heat, because boy, we was sweating like crazy. After that, we literally got episode 2 finished, done. I threw that thing in a hard drive, and then it was just ready for episode 3. So, filming episode 3. So, whenever it came to this episode, I was actually really nervous about things, just because of the fact that once we get episode 3 done, I was going to be in a bad position. I didn't have episodes 4, 5, and 6 written, like, at all. I didn't even have a script. I didn't have any type of idea where it was going to go. Like, don't do that. Anybody watching this, do not do that. That is the worst thing to ever do for yourself. Because literally, I was stressing, bro. Like, already with me doing everything myself, like the fact that I didn't have the rest of the episodes finished just kind of like made things worse. But the thing was, I had episode 3 ready and written and everything. It was just a matter of just, you know, trying to get ready for the shoot day, and as well as try to plan episode 4. Like, it was the worst. Like, whenever the week leading up to filming for episode 3 was just hectic. But hey, we was able to make it work, just because of the fact that episode 3 was a very special episode. You know, like, this was gonna be an episode where my character and everybody else was gonna really interact all in one scene. So I really needed all hands on deck for whenever we were filming this episode. So the first day of filming, I needed the most help, mainly because of the fact that I only needed to focus on acting and directing that day. I couldn't, you know, put my hands in everything at the same time. I needed help. So I hit it up, my sister's boyfriend Champion. He was able to come help with audio because Jordan wasn't available. I hit up Daryl to see if he was going to be free as far as like helping with the camera, but he wasn't available. So I got really nervous around this point too, just because it was like, dang, who's going to man the camera? Because like this episode had more, you know, emotion type scenes in it, and I needed to focus on being able to exude that emotion, and also kind of like, you know, just be ready for things. As far as like just being able to just focus on my acting and directing, I wasn't trying to get everything else. I mean, I would if I had to, but I was really like, if I didn't have to, I would try to get help. So yeah, when Daryl said he wasn't going to be able to help, I was like, dang, who's going to be able to fill that role? Eventually, a young aspiring filmmaker that I got to work with over the summer whenever I was working at this summer camp in Dallas, he hit me up randomly, like around this time, just saying like, hey, I want to get more knowledge in filmmaking, I want to learn and everything like that. So if you have any opportunities, definitely let me know. And one thing I remember about him whenever we was at the summer camp was he actually had like a natural eye for things. Like he actually had whenever I was watching the videos that he was putting out, I was like, okay, so he actually kind of got an idea of like what to look for in some sense, and that was enough. So, and plus he was wanting to learn, and that was the most important thing. So especially if you wanted to become like a cinematographer, camera person, it was just like, hey, filming on sets is a good way of like learning and getting an idea of how things work. So whenever he hit me up, I was like, yeah, definitely. You can definitely help out for this episode. Would you actually be cool with like being the camera person, you know? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. So he ended up coming out to help for this episode, and he was a big help. So shout out to Aaron. I appreciate you, bro, for real. So yeah, we had the help that we needed in order to film for the first day of shooting episode 3. So in this scene, we ended up doing things kind of different. A majority of the first 2 episodes we shot either on gimbal or it was on a tripod, but this time we actually started introducing, you know, just handheld scenes. So since this was just like us shooting scenes with the rest of the group, we were able to just get like handheld scene situations, since there was more like high energy, like more of those, you know, upbeat situations in this episode. We were able to kind of like implement that with the handheld. So whenever we were doing the summer camp, I let some of the kids like hold my camera. That was a risky situation. Some people would have been like, I ain't letting no kids hold my camera. But the thing was, it was like, you just gotta let them know like, hey, this is something important and fragile, and like giving them the opportunity to kind of like see what it's like to hold something that expensive in their hands. So I remember whenever I let Aaron hold it, he actually was like comfortable with it. Like, yes, it was heavy, but he ended up getting comfortable with it over time. So this wasn't anything new for him. So whenever I was just like, hey, whenever we start shooting these types of scenes, I just want you to hold it handheld, because I want people to kind of like feel how, you know, rocky the situation is or whatever. So he was like, okay, cool. And he did it with no problem. Like whenever Mikey had his scenes wherever he was, turning up and everything like that, or whenever I had my scenes where I was turning up on him or anything like that, like it was all there. It all worked out. It all went well. So it was perfect, man. Like, and like the execution of it went really well. Like whenever we looked back at it just to see like how everything went, it was perfect. Like everybody's reactions was there. The tension of the scene was there, especially with the camera, you know, being as rocky and everything as it was. Like everything was there, so it was perfect. Like literally, he did his thing. So hey, I'll be on the lookout for Aaron whenever he starts getting more and more into this film stuff for real. Nah, filming that first day was actually pretty fun, just because of the fact that we were able to kind of like show more stakes in this episode, you know, especially start yelling at each other and everything like that. Like, yes, it's all love at the end of the day, and it's all acting. But yeah, it was just cool just to be like, you know, like, yo, what's up? Why you doing all this? Why you lie? All this other stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty good day. So literally, once we got all of the other group stuff done and shot, the second day of filming was just dedicated to just filming my scenes as well as filming Jake's scenes. That was it. Because literally we only needed one day just to shoot everybody else's stuff. So when the second day of filming came, literally it was just me, Jake, and partial, and for some of it was also Jordan who was helping out as well. But yeah, other than that, it was just me, Jake, and Jordan just shooting, you doing audio, everything like that. Jordan was a real MVP because he was actually manning the camera and holding up the mic at the same time at some points. Especially since we had some scenes outside, but we weren't outside for long, so we wasn't sweating or nothing like that, thank the Lord. But yeah, nah, when we was outside, it was actually funner this time. Like I remember singing and turning up at some point while we was out there. But
Warehouse, guys. But beatboxing and the mic is up here.
Other than that, yeah, like after we finished the outside stuff, Jordan had to leave, but that was fine because literally the scenes that we had to shoot next were just me and Jake only, and they were inside and everything like that. And the way that I wanted them shot, literally it was just on either tripod, and if it was handheld, it was only handheld on Jake. So I was able to kind of like shift between acting to directing to camera and everything like that. And like I said before, since Jake was always super helpful with wanting to like, you know, help in any way he could, like he didn't have no problem manning the camera if he had to. He didn't have no problem holding the mic if he had to. So yeah, like literally it was just me and Jake at that point, and we shot his scenes. I was able to shoot his scenes, and then he was also helping with the shooting some of my scenes, especially some of the scenes like with where I was in the room and everything like that, and I was like, whenever Law was just looking around the room where the murder happened, and also with me opening up the door and stuff like that. Like it was just really good. Like we really did good that day. We were shooting for a good couple hours. Like we were shooting for like a big chunk of the day, but the thing was we ended up getting everything done, and we did it all good, like in high spirits. We were all good, happy, turning up, all that good stuff. So, and go for it.
My bad, bro. It looked like I'm about to kill you. Like I came in here close.
That's what I'm saying. Don't close the door, because then it's going to look like that. That's why I was like, don't close the door. Yeah. You can even just keep it open. Just keep it open. Shout out to the bro Jake once again. But shooting the second day of shooting episode 3 was actually really smooth. Even though we didn't have like all the help in the world, it ended up going well anyway. So yeah, it was really fun. Yeah. So from this video, you guys can kind of, you know, tell there was a lot of stuff that went behind what happened each and every day we were shooting. There were definitely some ups, some downs, things that went our way, things that didn't go our way, but that's normal. That's what happens on film sets. That's what you kind of learn over time. Like things are gonna go bad, but you always gotta find a way to pivot and make things work. Like don't get me wrong, there was definitely things I could have done better. There's definitely things you know, we all could have done better as far as like just handling everything and making sure everything worked as smooth as possible. But I'm just happy that we were able to get everything done, because at the end of the day, that's the big goal, you know. That's the most important thing, just being able to finish filming so that you can move on to the next phase, like so you can get everything edited and finally get the episode out there and finished. You know, a lot goes into making a film, let alone a web series. But the thing is, if you have the passion, if you have the patience, if you have the drive to kind of like be in an environment like this and actually get through all the hours of filming, get through all the reshoots, the ups and downs that can happen, you know, because there's going to be a lot of downs, and there's going to be moments where you might feel like, oh, I don't know if I can get this finished. No, if you have what it takes to actually get through all of that and finish something, then that just shows right there you have what it takes to make things happen. You have what it takes to bring an idea to life. So definitely continue striving for that. So just to let y'all know, it's actually going to be a minute before the next episode of Creating Death in the BnB comes out, just because of the fact that I still need to finish editing episode 4, and we still need to film episode 5 and 6. And just me trying to get that all together is gonna be a lot. But the thing is, I'm gonna finish this thing. Like, let alone, I don't care how long it takes, I'm getting this thing finished. So yeah, it's gonna be a little minute before the next episode comes out. But as soon as we get those things done, be on the lookout for another episode coming soon. And just to keep up with the progress of everything, follow us on social media at We Will Studios. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. So yeah, definitely follow us. And also, we're on YouTube. Subscribe, make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Also, if there's things that I didn't go over in this video that you have questions about or anything, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will definitely get back to you with an answer and just go over whatever need be. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Creating Death in the BnB, and be on the lookout for another one coming soon. I'll see y'all soon. Keep creating and believe in yourself always. This is Lance Williams at We Will Studios. Peace.